Today I'm going to show you guys my absolute favorite way of making chicken on the grill. It's summer, it's hot, and there's nothing quite like a deliciously grilled piece of chicken. So let's get started on the marinade first. So this is a key step in this recipe. So I've got my nice big bowl, and my first ingredient is going to be orange juice. I'm using this bottled orange juice. You can use freshly squeezed if you want, but this stuff works pretty well too. So we're going to go with about a half a cup, maybe a cup. I've got a bunch of chicken thighs that I'm going to be grilling, so you want to make sure you have plenty of your marinade. It's really easy. You don't really have to measure much. It's about equal parts of all these ingredients. So orange juice was first. It's going to kind of provide the tanginess. It's going to help tenderize the meat. You can also do lemon juice. You can do lime juice. You can mix the two together. Really whatever you want. But orange juice is a good base to start with. Next, I've got some soy sauce. This will add the saltiness, that kind of a nice umami flavor, and it's just really good in marinades. About a half a cup or so of soy sauce. Next, I've got some balsamic vinegar. So this will do a few things. Also give it that nice kind of tangy flavor, that beautiful color, and that nice kind of zestiness you get from the vinegar. All right. Couple dashes of Worcestershire, again, for some of that umami flavor and just to really spice up or flavor up the marinade. Some olive oil. And again, see, not really measuring anything. Just kind of eyeballing all these ingredients. The full recipe will be on the website, so if you do want all measurements, just go to grillinwiththat.com and you'll have the full recipe. The link will be in the description as well. Next, I've got some garlic, using the jarred stuff. All right, now I know some of you don't like garlic, but it works great, especially in marinade. So I'm going to go with about 2 tablespoons. You can also use fresh. Mince it yourself. Okay, it's all good. Use whatever you have on hand. And finally, I've got some brown sugar, right? You need a little sweetness. We have all these other flavors working in this marinade. So you got to add a little bit of sugar to make it tasty. And finally, my all-purpose seasoning and my sweet barbecue rub, all right? So this is just going to provide all those additional seasonings and flavors to really bring this marinade to life. So about a tablespoon or so of each. So the all-purpose is that good kind of salt, pepper, garlic, paprika flavor, and then the sweet barbecue has that granulated honey. And then all you got to do, just give this guy a mix. It's smelling really good already. And just mix everything up, make sure everything's nicely incorporated. Before we continue, quick little announcement on our seasonings. So these are now available nationwide at Ace Hardware, or I should say they're making their way across the country to become available. So if you live anywhere outside of the Chicagoland area, or even in the Chicagoland area, go to acehardware.com. You can search for my seasonings and see if they're available at your local store. If they're not, you can select the ship to store option for free, and you can get these everywhere else. And if you are in the Chicagoland area, these are now also available at Mariande. So 2 big retailers now carrying our spices, which is pretty freaking amazing. So check these out if you want to get them and you don't want to pay for shipping. Available locally everywhere. Before I drop my chicken in the marinade, I'm gonna reserve a little bit for later for basting. I don't know, about a cup or so. So I'm gonna baste the chicken towards the end while it's on the grill. So just set some of this aside. Marinade is ready. So now we can drop in our chicken. Now, we're cooking chicken today, or I'm cooking chicken today, but this marinade also works great on pork. So chicken and pork, this is a really good marinade. And if you like it maybe spicier or you want to add some more heat, you can add some hot sauce, add some hot chili flakes. You can really customize this to your liking, but this is a good base to start with. For my chicken, I'm going with these beautiful bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. All right, now there's a lot in here. I'm not going to cook all of them. This was a pretty good deal, though. You have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 chicken thighs for $12. This is 6 pounds of chicken for 12 bucks. So it's a really good deal. I always like to kind of buy in bulk like this, and then whatever is left over, whatever I'm not going to cook, I'm just going to put it in a Ziploc bag, throw it in the freezer, and save it for later. But let me show you what we're working with here. Wow, this is a big boy. Look at that. If your chicken has any pieces that are kind of sticking out like this, you want to trim that off. Otherwise, this is just going to burn on the grill and it's not going to be any good. And just clean this up just a little bit, especially some of this thicker, bigger, fatty pieces, some of this skin that's sticking out. And so you get something like this, right? I mean, we can cut this off here too. Really depending on how you like your chicken thighs, but this right here is looking pretty good to me. So I'm gonna drop this guy right in the marinade. Let me move this whisk out. Right in there. All right, let's prep the next one. Now I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do these two different ways. So I'm gonna do a couple of them with the skin on, and a couple of them I'm gonna remove the skin so you can see the difference how they cook on the grill. Now you can also make these with drumsticks, with wings, chicken breast, really whatever you like. You can even marinate a whole chicken and cook that. I like thighs. It's one of my favorite cuts. They're a little fatty. They're much easier to cook, much harder to overcook. There we go. Another one. In the marinade she goes. Okay, so for this one, let's remove the skin. And look how easy this is. You don't really even need a knife. You can just lift this skin up and it comes right off. All right, so I can peel that. There's the chicken skin. And I'm just gonna clean this fat off just a little bit. Remove that. And you have a bone-in. Pull this guy off, and you've got a beautiful bone-in, skinless chicken thigh. So we'll do two with the skin, and then we'll do two without the skin, and then I'll show you guys exactly how to cook them, what the difference is on the grill, and how to get them delicious, just like that. So one other note, when you are buying chicken thighs, the boneless, skinless ones will be a little bit more expensive at the store because somebody else, right, did the work. Remove the bone, remove the skin. It's always cheaper to buy them with the bone and the skin on and just do it yourself because it's really easy, right? Especially if you don't like the skin, you can still leave the bone and just cook it like that, and you get a delicious chicken thigh. That right there looks pretty good. So I'm gonna pop a lid on my bowl here. And I'm going to put this in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Now, ideally, when you do this at home, you want to do this the night before for maximum flavor, right? The longer that they sit in this marinade, the more flavorful this chicken is going to be. Overnight is best, at least 30 minutes if you're going to press for time. So pop this in the fridge, and then we'll continue on in a little bit. In the fridge they go. Come back in about 30 minutes, and we'll get them on the grill. While the chicken is marinating, I'm going to prep my grill, and the absolute best way to grill your chicken is over charcoal. So I'm going to be using my trusty Weber kettle. Let's get this thing fired up. So this is how I like to start my grill, right? You've got your chimney basket, so this goes in first. I got my Kingsford Original, going with the OG, with the classic. All right, so we're going to fill this thing up right there to the top. To light it, I'm going to use one of these little tumbleweeds, right? So really anything here will work. You can use the tumbleweeds. You can use a paper towel soaked in oil. Just don't use the charcoal starter fluid, right? Because it'll just kind of penetrate the briquettes, and then your food will taste like gasoline. So stay away from that. These little starters work the best, just like that. Put your chimney right on top. And then this will take about 15 minutes or so, and our charcoal will be ready to go. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes, and here, check this out. You can see not all the charcoal is fully etched over, which is fine. I don't want this thing being too hot. So you can see the flames, kind of the reddish, is about halfway up the chimney, which is what I'm looking for. So now all you got to do is just dump this out. Ooh, see, so about half of the charcoal is etched over. I'm going to put this away. And I'm going to grab my handy dandy charcoal tool, which is just this kind of metal grill scraper. And I'm just going to move these to one side of the grill, right? So this is going to create a hot zone right here where the charcoal is, and a cooler zone on the other side. So this right there looks pretty good. All we need to do is put the grate back in, which is right here. All right, now this thing is a little dirty, which is fine, no big deal. We'll put this on, and then this side is going to heat up over the charcoal. I'm going to scrape it clean, then I'm going to rotate the grate, heat up the other side, and clean that off, and then this thing's going to be ready for the grill. But before I do that, I'm going to put this cover on, or the lid on, and I'm going to close this air damper so it's about a quarter of a way open, maybe a little bit less, right? So what this does is, this is how you control the temperature on charcoal grills, is the air enters from the bottom, then it exits through the top. So the wider that these vents are open, more air goes in, and the hotter the grill gets. To control the heat so it doesn't get too out of control, you just want to dial this one down like it is here. I'm going to leave this closed for about another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be good to go. All right, chicken is ready, grill is ready, so let's get these guys on. and let me show you how to grill them up. This comes off. Whew. Not only is this grill hot, but it's like 100 degrees out here today. Let's clean the grate first. I'm putting these gloves on because my grill scraper is super greasy and dirty. I gotta wash this thing. But anyways, what I do with the grate is this thing has a little notch on the end, and you just kind of scrape each one, and you can see all this crud just falls right off. There you go, looks pretty good. Let's get our chicken out. It is looking and smelling so good. Here, check that out. The grill is hot, ready to go, right? We've got our hot side and our cool side, and I'm gonna start these chicken thighs on the cool side of the grill. So just give it another couple turns in this marinade. You just want some of this excess to drip off, and then just put it right here on the indirect heat side of the grill. For the ones that still have the skin on, we're going skin side up. And here's the ones without the skin, and directly on the grates. I'm gonna cook them this way most of the way. I'm gonna cover the grill, making sure that the vents go over the meat. So the idea is that the heat's gonna travel over the chicken and then exit out the vents. I'm gonna put it right on top just like so. Well, the temperature, the gauge is going to show a really hot temperature because it's directly over the coals, which is fine, but we've got our air vents mostly closed, so it's going to keep the temperature nice and low or hot enough to get the chicken cooked without burning it. And I'm going to come back and check on it in about 20 minutes, give it a flip, and we'll continue on. All right, chicken has been on for about 15 minutes, so let's take a peek. Wow, look at that. Already starting to develop that nice color on the outside. Now, as you can see, these pieces, the ones that are closer to the charcoal, they're getting a little bit more charred up here on the edges. Same with the two pieces that have the skin. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of rotate and flip. So I'm going to move the one that was in the back towards the front. We'll move this one towards the back. I'm going to flip this guy over with the skin. Same with this guy, right? And that's really kind of the trick. Anytime you're cooking chicken, especially if it has the skin on, is to just check on it every 10 minutes or so. Make sure your fire or your charcoal isn't too hot, and you're cooking on the indirect heat side of the grill, and it's going to be perfect every time. It's not going to burn, and if it does get a little charred up, just kind of move them around so they all cook evenly and at the same time. So I'm going to cover this back up, come back in another 10 minutes, and we'll see where we are at. All right, so it's been another 10-15 minutes or so. Let's take a look at our chicken. Oh yeah, that is looking really nice. Look at that, look how juicy that is. So I'm gonna flip these guys over again. Here's the ones with the skin. And it's time to check for internal temperature. So this is the best way of knowing when your meats are ready, is with a meat thermometer. I like using this one from ThermoWorks. This is the ThermaPen. It's really fast, accurate, super durable. And you just want to probe kind of right in the thickest part in the center. A little bit more, there we go. So about 175, 174. So that is really good. Now for chicken, 165 is the safe eating temperature, right? And especially for chicken breast, which is a lean cut, you want to pull it off under 165. For dark meat, thighs or drumsticks, you want to take it higher to 175, 180, even 185, because there's a little bit more fat, a little bit more connective tissue, and you get a much better texture if you take it to that higher temperature. It's still going to be plenty juicy and delicious. So now what I'm going to do is move the chicken from the indirect heat side of the grill and place them directly over the coals to kind of char them up. And you want to be careful with this, especially with the ones that have the skin, because it's going to flare up and it can burn really quickly. We'll move these guys over. And now it's also time to take our reserved marinade. So that's the marinade from the beginning. And I'm just going to drizzle this over the top as these are grilling over the charcoal, and just start brushing this on, adding more flavor to our chicken. All right, so now I'm gonna give it a flip and repeat on this side. And I'm just gonna do this for a couple minutes. Okay, here we go. How are we looking here? You can go a little bit more. You can just kind of flip it over, check, making sure nothing is burning. Oh, look at that, sizzling. Flip these guys over. And I'm just flipping, basting, brushing on my marinade, building on that flavor. Skin side, meat side, all the sides. See, so this is the perfect way of grilling chicken over charcoal. You start on that indirect side, then you finish over the coals, keeping an eye on everything, making sure nothing burns, getting that char, getting that flavor. Don't forget that marinade also had some of that brown sugar, which is gonna help caramelize and kind of create this beautiful crust on the outside. Yeah, look at that. I mean, this looks and smells so good. You can also do barbecue sauce. You know, you can add barbecue sauce to the marinade or just finish this off with barbecue sauce at the very end. So you can try a couple different methods, different recipes, see what you like. But this to me right here is summer grilling. Some chicken over charcoal right on the grill. All right, chicken is looking good. Look at that beautiful char on both sides. Whew. Nice and sizzling. So I'm going to pull these guys off, and I'm going to do one more thing or two more things before we try them out. Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good to me. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to baste this one more time with my reserved marinade. The other part is to let them rest for a good 10 minutes or so. That's going to stop the cooking process. It's going to allow these juices to redistribute inside the chicken, and it's just going to make for a much better, much tastier eating experience. But these smell so good right now. All right, chicken has rested. Let me just show you guys how pretty this looks, and it's still dripping. It is nice and sticky, so let's just give it a try. So this is the one without the skin. I'm just going right for that bite. Oh wow, even Jux came over for a little bit. That is so good. It's a little smoky. It's got a little bit of sweet from that brown sugar, from that orange juice. It's got that good kind of umami flavor from the soy sauce. This is everything that you want in a delicious grilled piece of chicken. Holy cow, this is so good. He's ready too. I'll give you a little bit. It's got to cool down, buddy, okay? Just a little bit too hot for you now. So also cooking this to a higher internal temperature, like that 175, 180, gives chicken thighs that really good bite through texture, right? If you pull it off the grill at 165, it's safe to eat, right? It's completely cooked, fully cooked, but it has that kind of, it'll feel a little gummy and kind of rubbery. It won't have that good bite through texture like it does when you take it to a higher internal temperature. Wow, that is so good. So that, my friends, is how you make a delicious grilled piece of chicken over charcoal, perfect for all your summer cookouts. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and I will see you guys next time. Wow. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Did you even like bite that or just swallow it whole? Let me give you one more. Oh, it's so nice. I think he likes it.